I think it is really offensive when people come up to me and they're like, Morgan, you do not need a bunker to survive. I'm like, excuse me, who are you? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Because even though I do really want a bunker, what is more realistic is having a 72-hour kit ready to go, whether it's for bugging out or whether it's for bugging in. You can use this kit no matter when. You can even take it camping with you. Let's see how you and your family can get together this kit in just a night. I'm going to show you how. Hey everyone, Morgan here. So as you can see behind me, I have some bug out bags. This is my husband's. Oh, where's the other one? Here it is. I left one out. This is my husband's. This is my oldest. This is my middlest. Yes, that's a word. And then this is mine. So we have all our bug out bags. Now, mine and my husband's are in the closet at all times, easily accessible. My children's are in their closets, easily accessible. When we say, hey, go get your bug out bags, why? Because they've packed them and they know where to go to get them. They physically put them there. So they know exactly where it is. I'm not packing it for them. However, when it comes to trying to get you and your family ready, starting with one kit or one bag is important. Now, as far as the bag goes, you can use just about any bag. It doesn't have to be tactical. It can be like an outdoor bag. It can be, a fun kid bag, whatever. It can even be a rolling suitcase. I have a suitcase back here. It can even be a bin. I have a bin over here, and that bin you could have for everyday, emergencies at your home. You could also take that bin out and put it right in your car, right? Because when we're talking about evacuations, we're not talking about end of the world. We're not talking about apocalypses, right? We're talking about evacuations from fire, hurricanes, things that can actually come and destroy your home and you in it if you don't get out, right? I do always suggest that people have a little bit more than 72 hours, because 72 hours is bare minimum, but it's better than nothing. So I want you to start with 72 hours. So let's dig into this and see some of the basics that you need. We're going to start with the core supplies, and core supplies would be something like these bottles of water. Now, you can have bottles of water that you rotate out every few months. Like whenever you inventory your bag or your kits every few months, you're going to be inventorying these bottles as well. You can also have bagged water. Bagged water comes in a lot of pre-made kits like this. I think bagged water is great. I think it's a great solution. It's just an easy rip open, drink it. It's great. And bagged water can last a really long time. Like, I don't know, like 10 years. I think it's even longer. I'll put it up here if I find it. So water. If you live in a place with lots of water, you may want to reduce the amount of water that you carry and simply have a water purification system like a Grail or something like that. Now, if you live in a place with less water available to you, like on your travels, on your journeys, then you will want water plus purification. So have like a few bottles of water that will help you get through. Also have some bottles of water in your vehicle that you shift out, rotate out every now and then, and also have water purification methods in here as well. The next one is first aid. It is a basic first aid kit. I know, I need to stage this tourniquet. I know, I've heard it millions of times and I still haven't done it. Stage tourniquet, stage tourniquet, stage. I'm going to do it right after this video. See, okay, anyway, this is a first aid kit that I always have with me. And my kids also have first aid kits in their bags. They each have their own. I have mine, my husband has his. I think first aid is paramount, and you can have over-the-counter medications and other prescription meds like through Jace Medical, and have that stuff available to you, because you don't want to be scrambling around your house for first aid or over-the-counter medications or whatever. You want that stuff here, and you will inventory any over-the-counter medications or prescription meds when you inventory your bag every 6 months or with the changing of the seasons. All right. Next one is food. Now, this may not look about 72 hours worth, but my kids also have their own food. So I am carrying food for me and my baby. I also have other food in here, but this is just the start here. But yeah, for me and my baby, this is what I care for, and I have diapers and wipes in here as well. Here's the wipes with some extra clothes. For my baby, I carry for me and my 1-year-old. My kids are old enough to have their own stuff in here, so they have their own waters, they have their own food, that kind of thing. But food is essential. I highly recommend having ready-to-eat food in your kits. For a 72-hour period, it's much more convenient to have really ready-to-eat foods like this stuff to help you get by. because you don't want to be spending a ton of time cooking or worrying about meals. You have these foods that are ready to eat, and you don't have to have ration bars. You can have bars that you enjoy. And I inventory this when I inventory my bug out bag, either at the change of the seasons or every 6 months. So I'm taking this out, and you know what we're doing? We're eating all of this and then replacing it with new stuff. So this is all stuff we regularly eat. So when I switch it out, I put in new stuff. And the same with my kids. They will take it out, eat it, put it with new stuff, right? I recommend ready to eat food, but of course you can have ration bars, you can have freeze dried food, whatever is going to sound better to you. It's really up to you and what's going to be better for you and your environment. Living here in Texas without an abundance of water readily available just at every turn, right? Having freeze-dried food probably isn't the best option, right? So that would be taking away from my drinking water, the water that I carry. But when I was in Alaska, I wouldn't have to carry as much drinking water because there was snow or there was, water literally everywhere. So I could, boil water and have food if I wanted to, or, purify or whatever I had to. So it's really, the type of kit that you have is really dependent on your region. Of course, you can also have the freeze-dried stuff. You can have like a mix of freeze-dried, ready to eat, whatever you want. There are no rules. This is the prepper jungle or wild. Okay, or something. A next core supply would be something like blankets, warm clothing, or cool clothing, some type of shelter system. So, if you have a family, I highly suggest looking for some sort of backpacking tent to where you can go from, floor walls to floor walls. And I consider a actual tent walls, right? I don't consider like just some, tarp out in the woods walls, right? Now, more ideal, you should have an emergency disaster plan. If you go down below to the description, you can go and download my emergency disaster plan for you and your family. Highly recommend you do this. Just it lays down step by step what you need to do and how to make the emergency disaster plan. Once you make the emergency disaster plan, you will get a better picture of what to put in your kits, especially your go bags and these kinds of things, because you will know, oh, I'm going to this place. Oh, so some backups would be this. This is how far I'm going to drive. These kinds of things. And especially if you are driving, that's why I said ready to eat foods are good because, like with kids and stuff, or me, I get hungry too. I just want to grab a bar instead of, hey, let's pull over and boil some water for some food. Nah, I'm not into that. Especially because, in an evacuation, I need to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible. And when you make that emergency disaster plan, you are figuring out how to get to that point B as quickly as possible and the best routes to take it. So an emergency disaster plan is extremely important. Go down to my description and hopefully in the pinned comment to download that guide. Core is either warmth, shelter, and or cooling, it depending on the time of year, your region, that kind of thing. By the way, my website is also filled with tons of checklists and downloads. Go to my website at roadpreparedness.com and check out my guides and checklists and downloads and just start going crazy on downloads. Next is adding family specific needs. As you just saw with my bug out bag, I carry for my baby. So I have things like diapers and extra clothes and wipes for her. My kids will have little morale boosters for them. They have like little toys and things in here that are going to help them get through. Is there something in here that I think, she took it out. She likes it. My middle child likes to go in and out of her bug out bag, and that's a good thing. I encourage it as long as they kind of replace it and stuff. But yeah, they have lots of things in here. If they say, hey, I want my own first aid kit, I'm going to get them their own first aid kit. I'm going to empower them. They have lots of glow sticks in here. It's just like little family needs. It's also pets. What pets do you have? Do you need to carry extra food and water for them? I have that, not just carry, but have it in the bins, in your emergency kits, enough for 72 hours. For pets, usually that like dogs and cats, you can have like one extra bag of food, and that'll be obviously solid for like a good 72 hours or longer. Anything else, extra leashes, these kinds of things, if you need to leave, crates, anything like that. If you have elderly or people with extra special needs, you're going to have to account for that as well. The next thing would be like documents, cash, things like that. So you'll want it either a physical copy of your extra documents, you know, your marriage certificates, insurances, things like that. Also have it on a USB drive, but just know that you may not be able to access something that has a USB drive. So physical documents are always helpful. A little bit of cash on you is because you don't know the situation. And, you know, if you have to just pay cash at a gas station or something, but all you have is a card, well, you're going to be out of luck. You know what I mean? Maps, phone chargers, these kinds of things. Even if you're going to be in your car, it's always really helpful to have these things. Again, we don't know the situation. Like in a hurricane or fire, you may be depleted on, you know, actual getting, you know, service and stuff like that. So you may really need those physical maps. In our next video, we're going to be talking about how to get out of your house in 10 minutes or less. Right here, right now, I want you to go make your own kit, whether it's in a bag, a bin, a suitcase, whatever. I really don't care what it is. Go get a grocery bag. I don't care. I just want you to have something together where just a little bit of stuff is together, okay? So go get some water, a little bit of food, light, shelter and or warmth items, and first aid. And don't forget the over-the-counter medications on that too. From there, you'll be able to expand for the documents and the cash and the maps and, you know, the special needs stuff and for your pets and those kind of things. Think about you and your family and get this stuff together today, right now. It'll come together a lot faster than you think. And I bet you already have a lot of this stuff just in your house that you could throw together to just have something available so that you know exactly where everything is in an emergency. This could be, again, for bugging in or bugging out. So get that stuff together today. Thank you all so much for watching. Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. Make your kit today. No more excuses. Or if you've made your kit, go ahead and go inventory it for the season changes. And let me know down below in the comments how you have made your kit to fit you and your family's needs. Thank you all so much for watching Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. I'll see y'all later. Bye.